as a president and for president voting. Delegate of Arsenal. Delegate of Real Madrid.
Present.
Delegate of Liverpool. Delegate of Man United. Delegate of Man City. Delegate of Chelsea.
Present and voting.
Delegate of Munich.
Present.
Delegate of Newcastle. Delegate of Atletico. Present. Delegate of Roma. Delegate of Juventus. Delegate of Dortmund. Delegate of PSG. Delegate of Barcelona. Delegate of UEFA Referee Committee. The floor is once again open. Are there any motions or speeches wanting to be made for this resolution as a whole? Delegate of Bayern, you have been recognized.
I would like to make an amendment.
Also, motion to address the new amendment. That is in order. Delegate, can you double check if this is the correct amendment?
Yes.
Delegate, you may begin your speech. You have 2 minutes.
Delegate Bayern believes that the opening clause 2 is not decisive. Delegate Bayern believes that the clause should be modified to urge mandatory and frequent medical checkups before, during, and after competitive seasons for every registered player, funded by organizations in Operative Clause 1. This is so that it closes any loopholes and injuries have a very low possibility during seasons. Thank you.
The delegate, is the delegate open to any POIs?
No.
The delegate has not opened itself to any POIs. Are there? How would the delegate want to yield the floor to?
Check.
That is in order. Are there any delegates wanting to make an against speech for this amendment? Delegate of Real Madrid, you have been recognized. Delegate, you may begin. You have 2 minutes.
Delegate of Real Madrid believes that the original operative clause, which is you urges a mandatory and frequent medical checkup to every player funded by an organization stated in the operative clause 1 in ways such as phenomenon 2 is more detailed and better than the current operative clause given by the delegate of Bayern. And the delegate believes that the info included by the delegate of Bayern is unnecessary and should not be passed. Thank you.
Is the delegate open? Thank you, delegate. Is the delegate open to any POIs?
Delegate is not open to
The delegate has not opened itself to any POIs. How would the delegate want to yield the floor to?
Delegate would like to yield the time back to the chair.
That is in order. Are there any more external speeches or motions for this amendment as a whole? Delegate of Chelsea, have been recognized. That is in order. And the committee will be conducting voting, roll call speech, and please secure your door. Delegate of Juventus. Delegate of Referee Committee. Delegate of Newcastle. Delegate of PSG. Delegate of Dortmund. Delegate of Roma. Delegate of Real Madrid.
Against.
Delegate of Atletico. Delegate of Bayern. Delegate of Chelsea. Delegate of Man United. With an overwhelming majority, this amendment does pass. Please make the reporting changes to your resolution. Has everyone made the Slide number 16.
Oh,
Byron's head of medical has resigned after claiming player workload is physically impossible to sustain. Delegate of Byron Munich will address his development, and suggestions for mandatory medical oversight are encouraged. So the committee will be conducting a general speakers list. Are there any delegates wanting to be included in the list? Delegate of Real Madrid and Chelsea, I would recognize in that order. Delegate of Bayern, you may approach the podium. Delegate, you have 2 minutes, you may begin.
The resignation of the medical director can play a big role in the disruption of our success. Therefore, we will try and initiate a more a strategic option to build more medical technology to help our players instead of depending on one person that organizes all of our players' health. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Is the delegate open to any POIs?
Yeah, we will not open to
The delegate has not opened itself to any POIs. How would the delegate want to use the floor? That is in order. Delegate of Real Madrid, you may approach the podium. Delegate, you have 2 minutes, you may begin.
the delegate believes the resolution made by the Block 1 is perfect for this crisis, since it stated what improve the quality of health trainers. If this resolution passes and us improve the education of the health trainers, this won't be a big of a problem, since there will be experienced and well-known health trainers, and this can be replaceable. So this is not a big deal if we pass this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. How would the delegate want to? Is the delegate open to any POIs?
Any of
Delegate hasn't opened himself to any and all POIs. Are there currently any other floor? Delegate of Chelsea, I would recognize.
May the delegate of Real Madrid please clarify what is the immediate resolution for players as the director, while the medical director resigned. There was no clear explanation of what immediate resolution will be.
Chair, could the delegate of Chelsea rephrase?
Can the delegate of Chelsea rephrase the POI in a more clear and concise manner?
What is the delegate of Real Madrid planning to instantly help the players in Bayern Munich?
For the short term, even though the delegate is not the delegate of Bayern, but the delegate is believing that for a short term solution, there should be like a temporary health trainers, because there are lots of health trainers in a soccer team, and they can be a temporary a replaceable head of medical from one of these trainers.
Thank you, Delegate. Yes, Delegate.
How can the delegate?
Delegate, first raise a motion for extension of POI.
Motion for extension of POI.
That is in order.
How can the delegate ensure that this occurrence will not repeat itself when the reason for the resign is that the stress upon the players is not sustainable with medical help? So how can having more trainers solve this problem?
So if the delegate pass this resolution, so there will be education for health trainers, and the pressure given to the head, the health trainer, will be kind of reduced, since everybody here is experienced. So and also this can repeat itself. The delegate didn't say this will never happen again. The delegate is saying if this happens, will this happen less, but not it's not. The delegate is saying this might happen. Later. So.
Yeah, granted.
This delegate believes the cause for this issue is not at the education of health trainers, nor stress upon a single individual trainer. However, it happened due to the unsustainable training of the athletes. So this delegate believes having more educated trainers will not solve this issue.
Is the chair, is that a
Could the
question?
delegate please rephrase the POI in a more POI formatted way?
So, how can the education of health trainers solve this issue when the cause of this happening is not because of an individual problem of the health trainer, but rather the unsustainable training of the athletes?
The delegate believes that is a solution that is like the problem of the coaches, and kind of like the delegate believes this is irrelevant to the agenda itself.
The delegate, how does the delegate want to go before?
Delegate would like to use the time chair.
That is in order. Delegate of trust, you may propose a motion. Delegates, also for reference, the General Secretary requested that we join the session at 5:30. That is when the session is going to be adjourned for day 2.
May the delegate begin?
Delegate, you have 2 minutes, you may begin.
The delegate of Chelsea believes that the resignation of Byron Munich's medical director was a tragic incident that impacts not only the sustainability of Byron Munich, but the sustainability of the whole football industry. For players, there has to be alternative plans for coaches and other directors, and the delegate of Chelsea encourages delegates to promote a more alternative situation in order to prevent it from happening, and use this as a example of what happens if there are no alternatives, and in order to stop it from happening for other football clubs and protect the sustainability.
And the delegate open to any POIs?
The delegate is open to no POIs.
The delegate has not opened herself to any POIs. How does the delegate want to go before?
The delegate would like to yield the floor back to the chair.
That is in order. The floor is once again open for any motions or speeches for this crisis or the previous resolution as a whole. Are there any in the House currently? Delegate of Real Madrid, you have been recognized.
Motion to go for the whole resolution.
Denied. Delegate of Real Chelsea.
The delegate of Chelsea would like to introduce the second.
That is in order.
This one.
Delegate, you have 2 minutes. You may begin.
The delegate of Chelsea would like to add the following clauses of good conditions in the way to international contest and good rep before going to contest, because the previous clause never provided any reason why flights for international tournament and making the quality better would protect players on field. So the delegate would like to add the reason why these international flights should be in good condition and how it impacts players' conditions on the field. The delegate believes that without this clause, this sub-clause is altogether very, very vague and overall does not make sense due to lack of detail. So the delegate would like to add the following clauses in order to make the quality of the sub-clause more believable and less vague and more clear and more concise.
Thank you, delegates. The delegate open to any POIs.
The delegate is open to any and all POIs.
The delegate has opened herself to any and all POIs. Are there any POIs on the floor currently? Seeing there is none, how does the delegate want to go before?
The delegate would like to yield the floor back to the chair.
That is in order. Are there any motions or speeches for this amendment or against this amendment as a whole?
Motion to go to the voting procedure for this amendment.
Delegate, you have not been called yet. Delegate, are there any currently in the floor? Delegate of Real Madrid, you have been recognized.
Motion to go on to the voting procedure for this amendment.
That is in order. The committee will continue continue to voting procedures. Admin, please secure the doors. Delegates who are voting for this amendment, please raise your placard high up. With an overwhelming majority of this amendment passes, please make recording changes. The floor is once again open for any speeches or motions for this resolution as a whole. Are there currently any in the House? The delegate of Bayer, you have to recognize. The chair strongly advises you to introduce the amendments created by the delegates. Under your chair's discretion. Very well. Oh, for the resolution as a whole.
Oh. So does the delegate make
The delegate, you have 2 minutes to read it.
a new amendment?
Yeah. No, for this whole resolution.
Oh. So the delegate believes that this resolution could be improved as there are quite a few missing things. For example, clause 3 could include a requirement for all clubs participating in international tournaments to have specialized mental health specialists in the field to help with burnout, mental stress, or anything that's disrupting them from playing their best in the field. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Is the delegate open to any POIs? The delegate has opened themselves to no POIs. How does the delegate want to vote here? That is in order. The floor is once again open. Are there any motions or speeches made for this resolution as a whole? Delegate of Robert and the other recognized. Delegate, please specify if it's a speech or voting.
Speech.
Delegate, you have 2 minutes. You may begin.
So earlier this day, did a motion for unmonitored caucus for concerns for this resolution, and the delegate believes most of the concerns expressed by delegates here has been solved, and the delegate believes this resolution is now like the parts that were lacking details are now like have the detail, and it was improved than the first iteration. So the delegate believes the delegates who are in this room should vote for this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, delegates. Is the delegate open to any POI?
Any no.
The delegate has opened itself to any and all POI. Are currently in the House. Delegate of Chelsea, you have to recognize.
May the delegate please specify what kind of concerns the delegate is talking about?
So some delegates expressed concern for 3A, and many some delegates opened up amendments to resolve this.
Granted.
Was 3A the only clause that delegates have concern of and was solved by the amendments?
No, the delegate clarify. Could the delegate repeat his question?
Can the delegate please rephrase the question in more clear and concise manner?
Was 3A, like the delegate of Brown McGuire talked about, the only clause that was solved by an amendment, or was there more?
No, the delegate had the delegate believes there was more amendments submitted by most of the delegates here, and the delegate believes that there are multiple amendments that were approved, and even though there are some was denied, but there are many, most of them were approved, and they fixed the resolution to develop in detail and solutions.
Thank you, delegates. Motion to extend the motion.
Objection.
Are there any seconds? What is your reason for your objection?
The delegate of Man United could say SYMUN.
Could the delegate, are there any seconds for the extension of the motion of POI? Seeing none, that it is denied due to time constraint. How would the delegate yield the floor to?
The delegate would like to yield the time contention.
That is in order. The floor is once again open. Are there any delegates wanting to raise a motion or speech for the delegate for this resolution as a whole? Delegate of Roma, you have the right. That is in order.
Motion for roll call vote.
Denied. The committee will move on to this voting procedure of this resolution as a whole. Admin, please secure the door. Delegates who want to vote for this resolution as a whole, please raise your placards high up. Delegates wishing to abstain. Delegates wishing to vote against this resolution. It's a tie, so the committee will be conducting the voting procedures in a roll call moment. Delegate of Juventus. 4 or less? 4. Delegate of Refereeing Federation. Delegate of Newcastle. Delegate of PSG. Delegate of Fort Dortmund. Delegate of Roma. Against? 4. Delegate of Real Madrid.
4.
Delegate of ATL Madrid. 4. Delegate of Munich.
4.
Delegate of Chelsea. Delegate of Man United. With the majority agreeing for the amendments, this resolution passes. Clapping is in order. The floor is once again open for any motions or speeches wanting to be made for this debate as a whole. Are there currently any in the House? Delegate of Chelsea, you have the recommendation.
The delegate of Chelsea would like to raise a motion for a moderated caucus as a consultation as a whole to discuss clarify the stances of each vote
That is in order. For how long?
for February.
That is in order. Moderated. Moderated. Delegate of Chelsea, would you please approach the podium? Oh, first, are there any delegates wanting to speak in the general speaker list in the moderating office? Delegates, you have 7 minutes. Please approach the podium. Delegate, you may begin.
Chelsea Football Club generally cares about whether or not players are taken good care of whilst playing games in the football industry, which includes fixture congestion. Even while players' welfare is an essential aspect in sports, all clubs must consider the fact that it was individual players' choice to participate in football games and not an obligation. And also, the reason why players want to play more games is because they get more financial compensation if they compete in more games and more recognition on international grounds. Especially because of the fact that football players have an unstable job with an early retirement age, they have a very limited amount of time to earn money, meaning they have to make the most of the time that they got, forcefully limiting players' games, but only lead to worse financial effects for these players by the end of the day. Limiting the amount of games, like said before, may lead to financial difficulties among players after they retire, but also their dislike towards European football industry. So systems does allow. So what the delegate of Chelsea Football Club is trying to promote, the system does allow players like Chelsea's Enzo Fernandez, who is concerned about injuries, to have time off because there is no force throughout the process. Though the delegate is not forcefully limiting amounts of games for players.
Any delegate? Is the delegate open to any POIs?
The delegate is open to any and all POIs.
The delegate has to open herself to any and all POIs. Are there currently in the form? Under chair's discretion, the delegate of UEFA referee committee has been recognized. That's a POI. Yeah.
Delegate of Chelsea said that Angel Fernandez showed his concern about
May the chair of the delegate.
Will the delegate rephrase his POI?
No, like not concisely speak.
Will the delegate speak up?
Chelsea clarify your stance, please. I not understand fully.
The delegate of Chelsea's Football Club stance, like simplified, is that the delegate of Chelsea is not going to forcefully limit players' games, rather give them the freedom to decide whether or not they're going to play in games or not.
How would the chair like to yield time?
The delegate would like to yield the time back to the chair.
That is in order. The floor is now once again open to discuss
Talk about possible resolutions. Are there currently any more on the floor?
Wasn't it critical stances?
Oh yeah, stances. Sure, that's corrected.
Are there any on the floor?
Delegate of Virginia is recognized. You may begin.
So the delegate of Real Madrid agrees with the delegate of Chelsea's claim, and the delegate of Real Madrid wants to bring one topic to the committee, and is that like some soccer players have families. Of course, the players have to support it, but the players have families. Football is their source of money, but if they get injured, their soccer skills will rust, and their playing time will constantly decrease. And if this happens, contracts for playing in the future will not exist, and their source of income will disappear. And if this source of income disappear, it's just going to be a terrible fate for the family. So, like, players' health is really important for like the family's, like the players' sake, and even the family's sake, because of the money issues, financial issues. Thank you.
Is the delegate open to any POIs?
No.
Seems not. How would the delegate like to yield the floor?
Back to the chair.
That is in order. The floor is now once again open to talk about stances of each club. If there are any delegates. Delegates that have not spoken yet are highly encouraged to speak. With the chair's discretion, the delegate of Juventus is recognized. Delegate, you have 1 minute, 30 seconds to deliver your speech. Delegate, you may begin.
Delegate of Chelsea certainly believes that players that are sick have to be resting, not come out of matches, because I also think Chelsea also thinks Juventus also thinks that
Last will not be in order.
oh,
Please
Sorry, me?
Huh?
Start with me.
No, please resume.
Oh.
Continue.
Juventus also thinks that players' health is important, as we experienced Canadians getting injured during trainings. So when the players are injured, even though money is important, players should be resting and then come back when their health is fully recovered, so that they can continue their future careers and keep running as a football player.
Thank you, delegate. Delegate open to any POIs. The delegate has not opened himself to any POIs. How the delegate wants to join the floor? That is in order. The floor is once again open. The moderator talks is officially over. However, due to time constraints, the chair believes that it will be hard to conduct any more resolution writing or any more motions. So the chair highly recommends for a motion to adjourn the session. Delegate Roma. That is in order. Delegates, so today is supposed to be ending at 5:30. So I guess you guys can just chill around until 5:30 comes.
Is it like the same minimum like that tomorrow?
Yeah. If you guys want to play any games, please let me know.
Chair,
Yes,
is
delegate.
it possible to see like the tallies so far?
That is not possible, delegate.
Or like what committee for everyone went to during your 7 conferences let you see the tally sheet?
Try to go.